what is meant by big data analytics. So first of all, we are talking about data, right? Now everywhere there is data exploration, there is data generation. Now people are crazy about the internet. Everybody is accessing internet. They're using Facebook, they're using Twitter, they're using different platforms to where we can generate a lot amount of data. So basically, what is meant by data, right? Data is nothing. It is defined as fact or figures or information which can be processed by computers. So if you want to process anything, right, on computers, the computers require the first things the data. Right? For example, if I say 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 like debts of values, it doesn't create any kind of sense, right? If I say 10,000 means what is 10,000? You may ask questions. If I say 20,000 means what is 20,000? You may ask questions, right? So if you're going to add some context on the data, that is going to collect information. If I say the salary of my employee is 10,000, it has some sense. It has some context. Okay, we're talking about salary of an employee. And if I say one, it means it doesn't have, one is data, but it doesn't have any kind of context. But if I say rupees one, so you can understand that, okay, one is a rupees. So if you're going to add context on the data, that is going to collect information, right? So here, this computers, what it will does generally that it will take the data and try to generate a lot of information from the data, try to generate a lot of insight and pattern from the data. Okay, that is going to call us the data, right? So every companies nowadays, which is you take any companies like YouTube, Google, whatever companies you are getting around, everybody's what is working on data only. They want to know the information from data, that they want to improve their business, right? If you take Google companies, they want to know how many users are accessing their Google as a web search engine. So it means they are getting the data around the globe, right? They are getting data in the terms of data, in terms of terabytes, in terms of petabytes, in terms of gigabytes. It means the huge amount of data is being generated around the globe. So here, for everything in the systems, what you require is data is very much mandatory. Now here, if you see how we can represent the data, right? Because some of the people are from first year, second year, third year. So if you know about the basic point about data, we can represent data in the forms of bits. Either it may be 0 or 1, or you can represent data in the forms of nibble, which is nothing but 4 bits, or you can represent data in the forms of byte, which may be consist of 8 bits. Likewise, it means here data is what the data is growing exponentially, right? So kilobyte, it means 1024 bytes. If you see megabytes, 1024 kilobytes, right? Gigabytes, 134 megabytes. We see here yottabyte. Yottabyte means what? We have a huge amount of data you can see here in terms of yottabyte. It means 1024 gigabytes. It means here what we can see from this observation that the data is growing very exponentially, right? It means day by day data has been growing, and now we are talking about with yottabyte, we're talking about gigabyte, we're talking about exabyte. So why this data is being generated? Because of technology which we are using. Now we are using mobile phone. Daily people are chatting through Facebook, we are sending messages through WhatsApp, we are sending messages through Twitter, receiving a lot of comments, like this, like this is going to call us what all kinds of data you are generating. So data are exponentially growing around the globe. So see, this is the some statistical charts I have given to you that how data is generating every second. You just imagine in 60 seconds, the Facebook 1 million login is happening in the Facebook. If you see the WhatsApp, you can able to send 8.1 million text sent in just 60 seconds. If you see YouTube in 60 seconds, 4.5 million videos are viewed. If you see here, Twitter's 87,500 people are tweeting it in 60 seconds. Just see that how people are crazy about the social media, about the technology which we are using. So every second we are generating a huge amount of data. Huge amount of data is being generated. You see a Google 3.8 million searches happening in a Google, right? So if you see these statistics, we can understand that yes, data is being generated at very huge rate, at very rapid rate, and it has been growing so much exponentially. Okay, so if the data is generating this much, right? If data is generating so much exponentially, then what is the use of the data? Because we cannot, you should use some data, right? You should get some information from the data. Simply generating data means it's not going to serve any purpose. So I want to know, I want to get some kind of insight from data, some meaningful information from the data. That's why the companies are nowadays they are generating huge amount of data, and from the data, they are going to find the hidden pattern. They want to find the hidden information from the data. Okay, so here these are the statistics which are given to you just to know that yes, in the world, data are generated at every second, and data are generated in different forms. And these data are generated in different forms.
Yes, Professor Sayed. Sayed.
This huge amount of data which you are receiving from the different sources, right? It means you can receive data from different platform. That means you're getting data in the huge size. You are getting data in the size of like data in the size of petabytes or exabytes. So my question is that if this much of data is generated, then what you're going to do with this data, right? Because this data cannot be processed using traditional database management system. Can you process this much of data using Oracle or by using relational database management system or by using MySQL? It is not possible at all. You cannot accommodate a huge amount of data or huge data set. But you cannot place them into a MySQL. You cannot store them into MySQL. I cannot store them into Oracle because they have some limitations. So you can say big data means what? The data which cannot be processed but using traditional database management system, which cannot be processed using MySQL or using any kind of traditional system. That kind of data is called as what data? It is being called as the big data. So big data is what? It is a huge size of data. It is a huge data sets which can have a which can size maybe measured in the terms of yottabytes, in the terms of petabytes. So I hope you understand about the what is meant by the big data. So you're going to see that what is the different characteristics of big data we have. So these are the different volumes or different views of the big data, right? So the first view is called as volume of the big data. What is volume means? Huge amount of data. It means we are getting a lot of data from the different sources, right? You're getting data from the Facebook, you're getting data from the Twitter, you're getting data from the PDF, you're getting data from the PPT, you're getting data from the camera, you're getting data from the sensor, IoT devices. It means we are receiving the data from the different sources, and that is going to call as the huge volume of the data. The second we is called as variety. What is variety? Different formats of data, right? See, some formats of data is audio data you are receiving, some formats of data you are receiving, the image data you are receiving, some formats of data you have text data you are receiving. It means the data are come into different varieties. That is going to call as what? We are receiving the data in different forms. That is going to call as the variety. Now, what about the value? Value means what? We are going to extract some of the meaningful information from the data, right? So once data came into the pictures, that what we can do is that we are going to extract the meaningful information from the data. That is going to call as values. And then what is velocity? Velocity means what? The rate at which the data is being generated. It means how fast data is being generated. Because how data is generated here? Data is being generated exponentially, data is growing. So it talks about the high speed of accumulation of data. It means at the rate of the data, at which rate data is being generated. Just now I had seen the last slide we have seen that in 60 seconds how data is being getting generated across the world in different platforms. And we are talking about the veracities. Veracity means what? Inconsistency in data, an uncertainty in data. It means that whatever data we are receiving from the different sources, do you think that all data are required for organization, or all data you are going to you're going to give you meaningful information? No, some of the data may be useful and some data may not be useful. So these are called as what the different views of the big data. Now, We are going to talk about the big data analytics. So now we understand what is mean by data, right? Now we understand about what is big data in a very short and precise way. The big data is the complex data. Big data having the huge size of data, which we can use in the terms of yottabytes, in the terms of databytes. It is a huge data. It is called as big data because big data cannot be processed using traditional database management system. So we need some other system to process the big data. Now, if we have this amount of data, then what kind of information you are going to obtain from this data? What kind of information you are going to receive from this data? Because I cannot keep this data as a dummy data, right? I should get some information from this data. And once I want to get information from this data, based on this information, I can take some decision. I can take some decision. For example, you take the university, SAG universities, right? Now, I want to take the information about the students of the your universities, right? And I want to know which students is performing well in economics, right? In first year and second, third year, how much percentage they score, so that they will get very good placement. So what I am doing is that I am going to collect the data about the students of SEG universities, right? That's what I'm not collecting the small data. I'm collecting all huge amount of data. Sorry for disturbing. Sometimes there is network flaw.
It's okay, no problem.
Yes, so we are talking about this big data. So what is the big data means that we are going to analyze the huge data sets and then you're going to get some kind of decisions. You can say that the big data analytics is nothing but the process of collecting the data, then you're going to organizing the data, and then you're going to analyzing the large data sets. You're not going to analyze the small data set, but what you're going to analyze the large data sets, okay, to discover the patterns and other useful information. It means that once you are going to have a big data sets, then you're going to process it, and then you're going to perform some kind of hidden information from the big data, and then you're going to take some decisions, right? So nowadays, most of the companies, they use the big data to analyze their performance and to predict their performance in the coming years. Okay, for example, if you open new companies and if you want to know the growth rate of your companies, that after 5 years how a company is going to perform, then whatever transactions has been made in the companies, you just make a data and try to make historical data and do analyzing on the data and come to know about the performance of your companies, that how the customers are thinking about the companies, how the customers are feeling good about the companies, and based on that we can take some kind of measurement, we can take some kind of decisions. So basically, what is the main purpose of big data analytics here is that we are taking the big data, we are analyzing the data, right, and then you're going to take some decision, right, and this is going to help you for the organizations to improve the performance. Okay, so I'm taking the data, right, I'm taking the data of the SEG universities, I'm analyzing the SEG universities, right, and then I'm going to take decision that why the university is not getting more number of admission, right, what is the cause of not getting more number of admission. Then based on that things, I can take some kind of decision. So what my data says, this university is not getting huge admission, or this university is getting more number of admission, then what I can do, I can also improve more performance, right, I can able to achieve 100% of performance. It means all the companies are worrying about their performance, all the companies are worrying about the business logics. They want to improve their business, they want to study the customer behavior, what customers are really expect from the companies. For that, the companies will take the data about the customers, they analyze the behavior of the customers, and based on the customer feedback, they can develop a new product in the market, they can sell, and they can get a lot of revenue from the market. That's why this is the main purpose of the what big data analytics. So you are going to have huge data sets, then you are going to analyze the data sets, and then you're going to take some decision Based on decision, we can improve your business stream. Now here, big data analytics in practice. Now you may ask question that what is the application areas of big data? Where you are going to use the big data here? Now recently the hard airways, they use this technology of big data. That the hard airways use technologies to harvest, analyze gigabits of data generated by hundred of sensors. It means in this plane they are having 1,000 of sensors they are keeping, and all the sensors are getting information about the engine information, about the components of the plane, what are the components are available in the planes, okay, what are the parts are running, which parts are not running, every minute information they are getting through the sensors. Based on this information, they will take the decisions whether my plane is in good conditions or not in good condition, because it's very risky job to board someone in the plane if the plane conditions are not at all good. We may have a plane crash in future. So what do you do? They use the sensor. With the help of the sensors will sense all the information about the components which is there in the plane, and they will analyze this data. Based on this data, they will come to know that whether your plane is in healthy conditions or not in healthy conditions, right? And accordingly, they will try to spot the problem before any kind of accident may happen in futures. So this kind of big data is going to prevent you from the danger attack, from the danger accident, from the different in various companies. So this big data is playing very important roles in all aviation industries, where these sensors are is placed in different parts in plane, and they are giving all informations about different components, even fuel cost, about how the engine fuels are working. If the fuels engines are not working correctly, they will ask you to maintain it on a time, and so that you can able to reduce the fuel cost. So this kind of area where we are using big data are generally used. Now you see here the Facebook, right? Because we are the users of Facebook. So every time you are updating the status on the Facebook, we are sharing the photos, you liking the content, right? So nowadays Facebook is used for the campaigning also. Now all this in India also, the different the Congress, BJP, and all different kind of political parties, they use the Facebook to know that who likes BJP and who dislike BJP, who like Congress, who doesn't like the Congress. It means the campaign is happening through the social media also. So if they're going to post any kind of videos and any kind of image on Facebook, immediately if you like BCP, immediately give like button, or if you doesn't like, you give dislike button. If you like, you can share the photos. Based on that, what happens? They will take the data around the people of India, and they will analyze that. Yes, the next time whose government is going to come to our country. Okay, the people, what is the people opinion? Okay, how the people feel about the government, whether the people feel good about the government, whether the people feel bad about the governments. So they will take all kind of sentimental analysis from the people. Nowadays, in USA election also, the Obama, they use this Facebook platform to get number of voters, number of votes from the voters. So they start campaigning through Facebook, and they start analyzing the data which is coming from the Facebook, and they will come to know that in advance that yes, the Obama government is going to come in next elections. So nowadays, this kind of social media is playing important roles to assess the political parties also, whether they are going to win or whether they are going to lose. So now this big data is playing important roles in campaigning also, right? So many political parties, they use in campaigning for this for using the social media impact. So it means the big data is doing a great thing in every areas, right? Starting from health sector, starting from education sectors, starting from aviation industry, health industries, everywhere. The big data plays vital roles to assess the performance of any organizations. Now, this is very important point I would like to address you, that the optimizing business operations by analyzing customer behavior. Now, every companies are looking to attract the customers, right? Even if people are going for Amazon.com, and if you're purchasing some of the items, right? So if you purchase a mobile phone, next day if you go and log into the same company's Amazon company, you will get a lot of recommendation from Amazon. They will give you a lot of offers about the mobiles. This mobile phone is available for you, and this mobile phone is exclusively for you. Why you getting such kind of recommendation? Because this Amazon companies will capture all the information about the customers. Whatever the click you are making on the website, wherever you are navigating to the website, all this information who is recording, these Amazons are going to be recorded your informations, and they're going to analyze what things you like and what things you dislike. So based on the customer behaviors, they're growing their business. If you like mobile, they start giving recommendation about the mobile, and they will ask you to buy mobile, lot of discount and lot of offers they will give it to you. And if you like car, if you want to have a car, so if you like a click button on the car, then you come to know that yes, this person is looking for the car. So they start giving recommendation about the various cars, about discount, about offers, about loan, and all these things. It means what? They are going to capture information not only about single customers, they are capturing information about the various customers around the globe, and they do analyzing on the customer behavior, and based on the customer behavior, they're going to give a lot of recommendation to the customers. That's one aspect. The second aspect is what they can also build a lot of novelty product based on the customer feedback. Suppose if you say about this product is not at all good, or if this product is doing very well, based on the customer feedback and reviews, they are going to develop a new product also. So they are getting the customer feedback, they're getting the customer reviews, they're getting the customer information, and what they're doing, they are going and they are improving their business. The business are improving for that. So nowadays, most of the organizations, like you see the Amazon, you see the Flipkart, right? All these e-commerce website, they are the one who are using your data, and they're analyzing the data, and from this data, they're getting a lot of information from the data about the customers, and based on this analyzing of the data, they are going to take some decision that what kind of product they're going to brought into their market, what kind of products the customers are liking, what kind of products the customers are disliking. Based on the customer behaviors, they are going to improve their business. So nowadays, the big data is playing a very important role in e-commerce business also, which is called as electronic commerce business. Now, here, what are the steps in big data analytics, right? So what are the steps we are going to follow in big data analytics? The first thing is that we have to identify the problem, okay? What kind of problems first need to identify. For example, you take your universities, right? Now, your university, you want to you want to get more number of admission, right? So if you want to get more number of admission, this is it's kind of problem, right? So for that, you should get some data requirements. So according to the problem, you have to get data sets, right? We have to get data from the different districts or from the different states, right? We have to gather the information about the students who are interested to join you in your universities, right? And then once you get the huge data set, what you have to do, we have to pre-processing data. What is pre-processing? See, all data are not meaningful. Some data may not be useful, some data may be useful. Suppose if I want to, if somebody come to my university, right? I can get data about the students. I can get data about the students' name, address, phone numbers, right? And but I don't want data about his hobby, or data about his bad behavior. All this data I don't want. What data I want is that whether he is interested on my university or not. For that, I'm going to collect some information like his name, his address, his phone numbers, his email address, all these things I can collect it. So we are collecting the data across the different states. You are collecting data across the district wise, and that data becomes ample amount of data. That's the size of data is growing.